we have Curtis Razor Blades coming in against Chris Daukas, two of Derek Lewis's children coming in for the main event this week in the heavyweight division. Curtis Razor Blades coming at 15-3. All all said, he has two losses to Francis and one loss to Derek. He's still in contention. He's the forgotten man at heavyweight.
And he whooped Derek's ass until Derek, did what he did to him. That was a nasty thing.
Oh yeah, he sent him to the grave. Anywho, Curtis Blades coming in at 261, just under the heavyweight limit, 6'4" with the 80-inch reach, and Kyle Daukas, kind of the young gun in the division, even though he's 32 years old, coming off a KO versus Derek. Chris is coming at 235, 6'3", and 76-inch reach. Zach, this is the most lopsided fight I could ever imagine as a main event.
I agree.
It's so clear to me. I'm sorry to cut you off again.
No, go ahead, man.
That Blades is going to get this done via his wrestling. Look, nobody has stopped Blades' wrestling that I'm aware of. That's not knocked him out. So we're talking about Derek Lewis and we're talking Francis, right? And those are two of the heaviest hitters and the sport's ever seen. That Chris Daukas just is not going to have for him. I mean, sure, Chris Daukas has power, but he's giving up 30 fucking pounds to the best wrestler right now in the heavyweight division. This is not going to be pretty. This is going to be pretty cut and dry, like from analysis perspective, in my perspective.
No, I 100% agree. I think Chris Daukas he's a point boxer. He's a guy that, he's got power. I'm not going to say that anybody in the men's heavyweight division doesn't have power, but he's certainly a guy that sets shots up. He throws combos. He lands jabs. He's technically sound on the feet. But I'm with you, man. Curtis Blades is a different animal. And if you look at his record, not Chris Daukas, the only guy that he's even fought that's relatively in the same atmosphere as Derek. And as we've discussed, Derek Lewis and Curtis Blades are two completely different animals. Curtis has been in there with Francis twice. Derek, he just beat Jairzinho. He's been in there with Uberim.
Alexei Olenek.
I don't think anything about Chris Daukas is scary to Curtis Blades. And, honestly, just to cut off of the analysis train, the UFC played Chris Daukas completely wrong, man. He's a great young talent. He has a lot of room to improve, and they should have slow-tracked him the same way they did Aspinall. They threw him to Lewis, and they threw him to Blades, and after Blades wrestle fucks him the same way he did Jairzinho last time out, everybody's going to say Chris Daukas sucks. Everybody's going to forget about Chris Daukas. He's certainly a viable contender, and I certainly would have loved to build up some hype around a fight between him and Aspinall, instead of Volkov. But at this point, it looks like Tom Aspinall is way past this.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, Aspinall he's put on a jiu-jitsu display twice now against Orlovsky and now Volkov. So, I think he would have the edge there. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about Blades and his wrestling. And can we talk about how fucking good of a wrestler? Like, he really has not ever been denied, Like, he gets the takedown, even against, Lewis, even though there's not much happening. He was winning the fight until he got flatlined, obviously. But I think he's still in the running. I really do think Blades is the forgotten man. He's not the most exciting, but he wins. He's not Brock Lesnar, but he gets it done via wrestling, and I like it. And if I'm being honest, this is a slam dunk. Whatever it is, it's going to be high, but I think this is, this is Amanda Nunes territory versus Megan Anderson, if I'm being completely honest.
Wow. I wouldn't go that far because that was a whoop down, but Curtis is nicknamed Razor Blades for a reason. When he gets on top and postures up and starts dropping those bows, it's going to be a long night for Chris Daukas.
He's giving up 30 fucking pounds, dude, to the best wrestler. And he hasn't fought anybody except Derek Lewis in the heavyweight division. But that's neither here nor there. Curtis Blaydes coming at minus 350 favorite, and Chris Daukas coming back at the plus 315 dog. If here's what I'm doing. I'm pulling my money together. Whatever I was going to spread out against cards, try and make some cash. I'm putting it in together in a parlay. I'm throwing it all Curtis Blaydes and Alexa Grasso money line, and then maybe throwing a little extra Curtis Blaydes by TKO at plus 105.
Look, you might have just built the parlay for us. I mean, at least the main parlay that I'm confident in publishing and thinking will win. Curtis Blaydes, Alexa Grasso, and Borchet. They're all favorites. You can take that line way down, and the only way you're going to cash out is if they all win. But we think they're all going to win.
That's right. I think Chris Daukas is going to really consider being a fat ass and maybe go down to light heavyweight after this. He's going to be like, I don't want any of the big boys. Take me down to the big boys.
That's not a guy that I'll talk shit about. I'm very high on the Chris Daukas train.
I like him too.
But like I said, they pushed him way too fast. And like you said, he's a small heavyweight. It's a hard battle to fight when you're giving up 30 pounds with a guy that just wants to be a wet blanket on top of you.
And he's very good at being that wet blanket. Extremely
That's what
good.
I mean. I'm surprised that he didn't damage Jairzinho more in that last fight, but I totally see Blaydes getting to full mount here, and at that point, he's a dangerous fucking man.
I mean, it's basically these guys. I mean, I know that the Daukaus brothers are keen on the jiu-jitsu, and that's kind of probably going to be their ace in the hole. But, Curtis Blaydes fought Alexei Oleinik 3 or 4 years ago, back when, obviously he was still older, but we're still talking about a guy that has the most subs in probably MMA history, right? And got it done. And, back then, Alexei Oleinik was probably more active on the ground and probably looking for more subs. I just don't think that Chris Daukas, unless he throws up some fucking Hail Mary like Anderson Silva did, is going to get a fucking stoppage. I mean, maybe.
No, I totally agree. I think it's a lot easier to get a stoppage from off your back when the guy on top of you is looking for a lay and pray, but that's not Curtis Blaydes.
Yeah, no. He's posturing up and throwing bows.
Yeah, I mean, would you disagree if I said he's probably the most active fighter from the top position in the UFC? I don't know a lot of guys that do more from top position than Curtis Blaydes does.
No, I mean, Curtis Blaydes, there's a reason that razor blade sticks, and it's because he does damage. And once you're on the ground, you're fucked. And he also doesn't just shoot once. He shoots multiple. He shoots a lot. For a heavyweight, I think his cardio is probably the most underrated.
If this goes 5 rounds, which we doubt it will, do not be surprised if Curtis Blaydes shoots 25 times. If this fight goes 1 round, don't be surprised if Curtis Blaydes shoots 7 or 8 times.
I'm almost positive he has the record for most takedowns already, and he's not even that old in the game.
Let's see. Curtis Blaydes is 31. Just now, especially at heavyweight and the way that division's progressing, it seems as though he's just now coming into his prime, just now coming into that heart of his career for at least the next 2 to 3 years.
No, I mean, if he could do something, like, I get it, honestly, he could ride his wave all the way to the top. He just needs to not get knocked out by Derek Francis again, and he could make a title shot. That's my opinion.
It's going to be a long battle to fight, seeing as he lost to Derek, he lost to Francis twice. I was always favorable in terms of let John Jones test